So, welcome back to my $500 course on how to be elite at pull ups and chin ups, weighted. So, I'll take you into the top 1% of men, just like myself. And most men today can't do a single pull up, while I could do one at 17 years old with 100 pounds on me added. So, I'm basically going to tell you the steps you'll take to get there and what you're going to do to achieve a very good weighted pull up. So the first thing you need to do is examine yourself. Look at yourself. Are you a heavy fucker? Are you like 300 fucking pounds? Because you're not pulling that weight up, no matter how strong you are. Well, you could, but that's very rare. Very, very rare, especially if you don't work out or do anything. And you look at yourself and you're like, okay, maybe you go cut the weight down, you fat fuck. So you do that, or you start training. And obviously, even if you're skinny, you probably still can't do a pull up if you've never tried it before. So what you start is do this, an eccentric. It's basically a negative pull up. You basically jump up above the bar or get your head above the bar, chin above the bar somehow, and then you try and slow down as you come down. Just slow down as much as you can during the eccentric parts of the lift. And the reason I put this over, for instance, something like a banded pull up is because you need your core during a pull up. Your abs would work a lot, and your core in general will work a lot during a pull up. I have a bunch of shorts up with me doing pull up shirtless, and you can see my ab muscles working. So you would need to strengthen your core on this lift and still your lats too. And you will do the same thing during eccentrics. They're basically just easier, negative pull ups. And if you do this for a long enough time, maybe a couple months, I'm guessing you should be able to get your first pull up. Do this twice, 2 times a week for multiple reps and sets, like you do with any other lift. Then you'll be able to get that first pull up. And once you get that first pull up, the next thing you're going to do is train pull ups 2 to 3 times a week for multiple reps, as many as you can. And at the end, you do eccentrics. So let's say, for instance, right now, I can do one pull up, 1 to 3 pull ups. My first I do 1 to 3 pull-ups. At the end, I do negatives, maybe 5 negatives just to make everything 8. And for 3 sets, you do that 2 times a week. You space it out, obviously, if you know anything about workout programming and such. And after you do that for a long time, you keep doing pull-ups, you keep doing pull-ups. Obviously, you're going to get increase the number like I did. I went from about 5 pull-ups to 10 in a span of maybe 9 months, something like that. I could like rep out 10. And this is the next step. The moment you get good at pull ups after progressing for 2 times a week, every single week, the next thing you do after you reach 10 plus pull ups, you can do 10 pull ups really well. Clean form, no kipping, nothing like that. You add weights. Try on like, just toss on like a 10-pound plate and see how many you could do that for. So what I did when I first started weighted pull-ups is I probably went a bit high, but I went for 25 pounds and I started aiming for about 8 reps. I think the first time I ever did it, I got 6 reps on the 25-pound plate. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to aim for 8. And the moment I get 8 comfortably, or I go above 8, I increase the weight. That's how you progressively overload. So I'll get like a 25, do it for 6 reps, and I kept progressing. I eventually got it for 8. I was like, okay, that 8th rep was pretty hard. I'm going to stay here for a bit until I can progress really well. And I kept going, kept going. Over the summer, I did like a pull up challenge. So I got really strong on pull ups, just spamming it on the tree and stuff. I didn't have a pull up bar. But if you do, keep adding weights, keep getting stronger. So, the moment you get above 8 reps, clean, you toss on maybe 5 extra pounds. Boom, now you're doing 30. And you keep doing that. And yeah, eventually, if you want to check your 1 rep max, it'll probably be decent. And you could also, if you're training for strength as well, 5 reps. That's what I'm doing right now. I aim for 5 reps, and I'm just going as heavy as I can. On my recent short, I did 97.5 pounds for 5 reps on pull-ups. Good form, no kipping. Sometimes I'll kip a bit, but this time there was barely any kipping, maybe on like the last rep. But I got 97 and a half for 5 reps. My 1 rep max for pull-ups right now is 125 pounds. So after obviously you train weighted pull-ups for a long time, you're going to get good at them. And then you'd also be in the top 1% of men in pull-ups, with like I am. So that's essentially it. Everyone online likes to overcomplicate a bunch of exercises. Exercising is really simple. Fitness is really simple. Working out is really simple. It's really fucking straightforward as well. Exercising is so basic. I never had to read any books or anything. Maybe I'd watch a couple content creators, but it's really just straightforward if you know what you're doing. It really only comprises of like having a good workout routine, you eat clean and you sleep good, and that's really it. And you'd get into shape. So yeah, I'll make multiple other videos talking about other exercises as well. Some calisthenics, some just like a beginner's guide to lifting, you know, and everything else you'd need for an aesthetic physique. Thank you.